Jim Martin came to Washington as a newspaper reporter. He then hooked up with then Congressman Ed Gurney and then later Senator Ed Gurney. Then he began to begin the marketing of conservative ideas in association with Richard Viguerie. And then several years ago, he started the conservative movement's answer to AARP, the 60-Plus Association. Then he did an absolutely brilliant move in bringing Pat Boone on as its national spokesperson. Please welcome Jim Martin of 60-Plus.
Thank you, Colin. I'm going to go to the podium because I have a couple of items I want to show folks here that I couldn't hold there. Just so there's no confusion with the 60-Plus Association and the AARP, I call them the Association Against Retired Persons. That's right. Thank you again, Colin. It's always an honor to be with Colin Hanna, the chairman of Let Freedom Ring, and with Dr. Price. I say that with great pride. Congressman Price. He led the fight in the House of Representatives to repeal Obamacare. For that, he deserves another round of applause. We've touched all the bases on Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. I call it the Unaffordable Care Act. The only people making money off are the AARP. You know, this is a Fortune 500 conglomerate. Somebody asked me once, Jim, does this bill make sense to you and the seniors at 60-plus? I said, no, it doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense, dollars and cents, to the AARP's bottom line. They've been making millions of dollars on the backs of seniors, and I'm out to stop it. Last year, they made $600 million in profits. How does a nonprofit make $600 million in profits? I haven't figured that one out yet. I've been in this town 50 years. We're not selling anything at 60-plus except a philosophy. It's limited government, less taxes, and an adherence to a document called the Constitution. Amen. And I want to also thank Ralph Reed and Faith and Freedom for putting on this conference. One other point on my group and the AARP, they tout another entertainer, Harry Belafonte. Now, Harry Belafonte is a great entertainer. He's so far to the left, he makes the president look pretty moderate. He likes to hobnob with Ahmadinejad and Chavez, while, as Colin pointed out, our spokesman at 60-plus, we're proud to announce, is singer Pat Boone. And Pat likes to tout his friendship with Ronald Reagan, his old friend. But let me just point out one thing. On this, if Dr. Price had been allowed, and Senator Rand Paul, another great doctor, and all these members, had they been allowed to do what candidate Barack Obama said, we'll sit around a big table, we'll put it on C-SPAN, and we'll get this thing solved. We'll have doctors and nurses and others there. Well, guess what? The ugly truth is now coming out. I referred you to the Wall Street Journal article a couple of days ago. These emails are coming out. Dr. Price and I were talking about this in Colin backstage. All these emails coming about all the deals that were cut between Pharma and AARP with the White House. Look, candidate Obama said we're not going to do that. We won't deal with lobbyists. We'll be open. We'll be out front. We'll be transparent. Look, if lying were a federal criminal offense, the President of the United States and half of his senior staff would right now be behind bars. It is that simple. We've been running ads around the country. The 60-plus senior citizens get the fact that this 2,700-page unread bill was bad medicine for seniors, quite frankly. And you know, I get accused of talking about falsely saying $500 billion was cut out of Medicare. Well, Nancy Pelosi said that recently. We've got it on tape. She said we cut $500 billion out of Medicare. The papers down in my home state of Florida are now hitting us pretty hard, saying that we're talking about $500 billion in cuts to Medicare. Well, if we're wrong, so is Nancy Pelosi. And the fact is, though, that cut has been made, and we're out to rectify that by taking on certain senators around the country, in Montana, Missouri, Michigan, Ohio, and Florida, my home state, where those senators voted support Obamacare. Right now there's a big battle going on, a semantic word game going on about the deciding vote, the 60th vote. Now, Bill Nelson in my home state of Florida, and I'm going to show an ad in a second, Senator Nelson said 60 plus has got it all wrong, this front group. Oh yeah, we're a front group. We got our money from all these rich millionaires. We don't want to disclose it. They mentioned the Koch brothers. Well, look, we happen to agree with their philosophy. They agree with mine. The fact of the matter is, if George Soros gave me money, I would, either one of two things have happened. I've either sold out or George Soros has seen the light and come over to our side. It's that simple. But the fact is, again, running these ads, they say that we're distorting his record. Senator Nelson, when he voted, he said this will bring down the deficit. That's nonsense, of course. But I do want to refer you to a couple of quotes, and I'll end on this note, where Senator Nelson said, I was not the 60th vote. That was Senator Ben Nelson of Nebraska. Well, we're wondering if out of Nebraska, if Ben Nelson is saying, no, I wasn't, that was Bill Nelson in Florida. Actually, Senator Nelson ought to check with his colleague in Montana, Senator John Tester, and I'm not making this up. Senator Tester, because we ran an ad out there questioning his vote for Obamacare, betraying seniors, if you will. Senator Tester actually pulled out a C-SPAN clip that showed that he was vote number 52, I believe it was. The fact is, how dumb could you be? The fact is,
every one of them was the 60th.
Someone said to me, finally, well, let me give you a direct quote here. I want to. Senator Nelson says they've got it all wrong. Again, Bill Nelson. Well, what I want to say to him, Senator Nelson, if you were not the deciding vote for Obamacare, what number were you? Since we're playing a number game, I guess. But we do apologize to Senator Nelson if we're making him uncomfortable. But the fact is, we should all say what number we were, I guess the senator should. But had he not voted for the bill, it would not have passed. It's that simple. And even the Orlando Sentinel in my home state of Florida did say you can argue that the bill needed 60 votes to pass. Quote, any of its 59 other supporters could have been termed the deciding vote. With that, I would like to show a 30-second ad that we are starting running down in Florida, and this is what's got him a little bit exercised. So if you'd run that ad,
Times have been tough in Florida. Almost 1 million out of work. Businesses shutting down. Thousands of homeowners facing foreclosure. But in Washington, Bill Nelson supports President Obama's policies that hurt hardworking taxpayers. He voted for Obama's failed $800 billion stimulus, but unemployment still went up, and was the deciding vote for the health care law that cuts $500 billion from Medicare to pay for new government programs. Tell Bill Nelson, protect hardworking taxpayers, stop the wasteful spending.
All right.
Thank you very much. We do have a national bus tour kicking off in Florida next week. The 60 Plus Association will go to Florida, Virginia, and Ohio and talk about these issues. Thank you again.
Thank you.